We are visiting the west coast of Norway, and that's where we are riding the picturesque Flåm Railway or Flamsbana. Today, Flåm Railway is a cultural icon of Norway and one of the most visited tourist attractions. And it provides a picturesque view of the railroad, the valleys, and the mountains of this west coast of Norway. This is also a marvel of engineering. So come join me on this journey as we spend the next hour riding down the Flåm Railway. Now, our day started off at the Bergen station. From there, we had to change train at Myrdal, and that's where you get on the Flamsbana railway. The carriages are very historic. Some of the carriages goes back to early 1930s and 40s. They have been renovated. But at the top of the mountain, here you can see it is like completely snowy. The day when we visited, it was quite cloudy, and it is cold and snowy up there, and the train started off and it immediately sort of went into a tunnel. This tunnel had like a lot of windows on the side, so it's something we don't see a whole lot, at least in US. Now, the train ride is going to be roughly an hour. It stops at a few stations on the way. The train started its journey in early 1900s, mainly for transporting goods from the top of the mountain to down below. By the way, that's the windowed tunnel thing which we talked about. As you can see, we are coming down pretty fast. One of the reasons it is a marvel of engineering is because it's almost a 5.5 degree grade which this train passes through. That at least 100 years back was absolutely unheard of, and so this train had to break a lot of grounds of engineering to achieve this feat, to build this construction. Now, one of the first places the train stops at is this waterfall. The train stops here for like good 10 minutes. The station is perched right in between two tunnels. So the train has one end in one tunnel and the other end in another tunnel. So that's pretty unique as well, I guess. So you get to spend a little bit of time there. They also had prepared this whole performance which kind of happens on top of that waterfall. So, and they have these speakers over there and they play this Norwegian music, and you have this performer who is having this incredible performance on top of the falls, which just adds to the overall ambience of it. Now, after that, as you can see, we have come down quite a bit, right? Like, we started off from there, we are going to go down close to 3,000 feet. And the landscape changes quite drastically. It is quite green. There is almost no snows. There's a lot of places where you can see there is like a park and ride features, and there were people who would park their car and they're going on hikes. We passed the train going the other direction. Now, one thing is, we probably found the overall ride to be a little bit underwhelming than what we expected. It may be because we had just so much expectation out of this train ride that it fell a little bit short of what we expected. But also the other practical thing is, we did not expect this much of tunnels, right? There's a saying which says too much of something is not good. Here the tunnels definitely fall in that category. There is just an incredible amount of tunnels where you almost cannot see much, at least for the first 35-40 minutes. So these sections we are able to see a lot more, the outside, and it's picturesque. But this is when the train has come down quite a lot, right? Like, so we are almost down. So the train passes through over 20 tunnels and one bridge. And those tunnels definitely takes away a lot of the scenery from you. So keep that in mind, right? Like, don't have your expectations too ballooned up like we did. Anyways, we are traveling in early May. The weather today was perfect. It was cloudy up on top of the mountain, but as we go down, the weather changed drastically. It is sunny and bright. We were wearing jackets up at the top. We had to take it down as soon as we go to the station over here. This is the Flåm Valley. and the train is now entering to the station of Flåm. Now, this particular station was built in 1940s as a terminus station for carrying goods from ferries on the Fjord to the main train line between Oslo and Bergen. Today, this is almost exclusively a tourist line, and this is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Norway. We booked our tickets to Norway in a nutshell. That is probably the most common thing. We asked around a few people on the train. Most of them seem to have done that. Now, the village of Flåm is absolutely picture perfect. If possible, stay a night here, or if not, like us, next stop will be the Fjord cruise.